Cleanup following Hurricane Delta continues. We take you back to the hard-hit Gulf Coast, where even after 2 significant hurricane strikes in just a 6-week span, residents, they're vowing to rebuild and persevere. Along the Louisiana coast sits Cameron Parish, the area devastated by Hurricane Laura 6 weeks ago. And just as people were starting to make progress in the cleanup efforts, here comes Hurricane Delta. Rusty Welch's family has lived in the area for 5 generations. Now there's nothing left.
We knew it took Rita on the chin, and we just didn't think it was going to do this for Laura. We had our home place here. 5 generations of family members have lived down here. And this right here was an inheritance to my brother that he got, and it was our family home from my parents. And it was right at a 2,500 square foot home. As you can see, no longer here. Laura took this. It survived Rita, it survived Ike, but Laura just took it away. And you can see in the back, it just kind of scattered everything out, and we didn't clean nothing up. This is what it looked like. No boards, no parts of the house anywhere. It's literally gone. But yep, that's what we got left. And we're gonna come back and we're gonna rebuild, and because it's what our family does. Been doing it since the late 1800s. This is all our family stuff. But anyway, how it is. It's rough. But what do? Gotta come back. It's really knocking people down. But what's good about this community, we're very strong, and a lot of people put their heads up and they take it like it's kind of like you down and you kind of dust it off, and you get up and you fall down again and get up and dust it off, and you come back and let's go. And we're gonna clean all this up, and we're gonna have it all nice and neat again in a couple of months, and we'll come back and make it work.
Gosh, your heart breaks for them, knowing what they've been through this season. And it's hard enough to get through the aftermath of 1 hurricane, much less 2. And now you throw in the insurance process that can really be a nightmare if not done correctly. Mark Friedlander of the Insurance Information Institute, though, joins us now with some helpful information. Mark, let's start with the information that we've begun to hear, that you're not going to get charged more than 1 deductible in a given year, despite getting more than 1 tropical system.
That's correct, Alex. So, for example, you say you have a $200,000 home and you already placed a property claim for Hurricane Laura. You've already, your deductibles already been applied. To say it's a 3% deductible, that's a $6,000 hurricane deductible. But if you have a second claim now with Hurricane Delta, you will not get charged that $6,000 again. So only 1 hurricane deductible per season, fortunately.
Now, Mark, I want to talk about what people might have been doing in the cleanup for Laura, but then that has been kind of undone in some cases with Delta. I mean, can you get reimbursed, or can you somehow be covered for all the work you did to clean up for Laura that might have been expensive, and then that got completely undone, in addition to just the raw damage?
Right. Well, you look at the current storm, Hurricane Delta, and that's considered a new weather event, a new property loss event. So any losses that took place during Delta would most likely be covered by your property insurance.
What should people be doing right now? What did they? What's the number 1 piece of advice? Say Laura messed up my home. Maybe I don't have pictures of what I did between Laura and Delta, and now Delta's left problems. What should I be doing?
First step is contact your insurance agent or carrier to report the loss, that you have a loss, and take photos or videos of the new damage if you can. Make sure you don't throw anything out, and if there are, say, emergency repairs you need to make to stay within your home, within your property, make sure you keep all the receipts for those, because most likely you will be reimbursed for that. But those are usually the first steps that anybody could take.
And Mark, are there challenges with determining what damage was done by wind versus by water? When you look at the blue tarps that were on the homes after Laura, maybe they weren't completely damaged by wind, maybe partially, but then maybe during Delta some water got in greater amounts. How do you sort out the wind-water issue with 2 hurricanes?
Well, typically what we call flood damage would occur from the ground up. So flooded roads, flooded creeks that have overflowed, that's water coming on up. If the water came in through the roof, there's a good chance that your homeowner's policy will cover that, but that's a determination that will be made by the insurance appraisers. So once again, you need to report what the damage is, what the loss is, and have the appraisers from your insurance company come out and take a look, and they will determine what the specific loss is for your home.
Well, Mark Friedlander, we thank you so much for your time tonight, for the insight. You know, some great advice, Dr. Neb. You don't think about, I think immediately you go, we'll throw away all this stuff that got messed up. But as he said, don't throw it away so you've got proof of ownership and you remember what you had. Yeah, and for any of us who weren't impacted by these hurricanes that are looking at this and go, what do I do if I ever get in that situation? This is why it's so important, way before any hurricane hits, that you take pictures and video of the interior of your home so you can show the insurance people what it was like before these storms ever hit. Yep, great information. Hope you never need it, but obviously these folks, Mike, needing it twice this year.